Hey everybody, and welcome back to another weekend roundup. Today we're going to take a look at all the mods newly released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of October 28th through November 1st, 2019. Now this was kind of a light week for the Mod Hub. In total there were only 10 new mods released this week and 28 or 29 mods released or updated this week. So let's go ahead without further ado and jump over to the Giants Mod Hub and just take a look at what got updated and released this week. So here we are, and we started the week out with an update to the Follow Me mod, and this is a huge update. This is an update that lots of folks have been asking for a very long time, all the way back into Farm Sim 17. That's right, guys, you are reading that correctly. Follow Me now is multiplayer supported. So that is something huge. I know lots of folks are going to be very, very happy about that aspect. Now, early in the week, we also had the continuation of the Seasons Geos releases. We had the Northern Sweden Geo released and the Bavarian Forest Geo got released. We have another Bossini slurry tanker, the B280. Now, this one, interesting enough, has a requirement. It also requires the Bossini B350 mod. So that is kind of an interesting requirement there. Also, that mod did get also updated this week. And pretty much that's all of the mods related to this week on the second page. Let's jump over here to the first page and take a quick look. So we continue the trend of updates with the Autoson B50 and D50 and D55 trailer pack. We had an update to the tow bar. The Metaltech DB trailer pack got updated. The Ursus 1214 tractor got updated. The placeable steel silo by Shaba FS was updated. And then we saw a newly released placeable, the wooden shelter. And we had an update to the More Bunker silo mod and an update to the diesel mod. We also saw updates to the SX heavy pack, the Metal Fock U741-1 pack. The ITS winter pack got updated, and I don't know what to think of this. I'm not really sure I like the strategy that ITS is taking with this. They're re-releasing this pack, and every time they re-release it, they're adding another item. So just added to this update, update 1.1.0.2, we have a snowblower added. So originally this mod was released with the salt spreader, and now this pack includes the snowblower, and it sounds like there is another mod, at least one more mod, to come in this pack. So the reason I say that is if we look here at the screenshots, there we can see the snowblower in action. Basically we have the salt spreader, we have an image of the snowblower, and then we have it coming soon. So there's at least one more thing that's going to be added to this pack. And I'm not really sure if I like the idea of this just getting re-released constantly with updated items in it. Here you can see the snowblower on the front and the salt spreader on the back. And of course, this goes with the Syntrack mod. And also requires seasons, of course, because of its working with salt and snow. We also have an update to the Man TGS IT Runner. And then we have some newly released mods. We have a little shelter. We have a placeable beehive. We have the CFails mod. This one's kind of interesting. If you ever was curious if you had some stray bales lying around, this one will surely tell you. Then you have the Men's trailer pack. And we have a series of updates. We had an update to the Slovakia Geo by Mr. Hector. We had an update to the large grain storages placeable, the old machinery shed placeable. And while this one is missing the update tag because it has the top tag, this was also updated. This was not a newly released mod. This was an updated mod. One way that you can surely tell is looking at the number of ratings. 721 ratings. Compare that to newly released mods. You can tell that this one has definitely been around for a lot longer. Then we had the newly released IES Drivelaner, an update to the BM 1200, The Gornick Hulner 2M weeder was also updated. And we close out the week with the Machinery Shed by DMI 20mm Normandy. And guys, that was basically the week as far as updates and newly releases. Let's go over here and take a look at the daily testing thread. This thread was not updated on Friday. The last update we have for this was Halloween, October 31st. You can see that we have 178 mods pending testing, approximate backlog of 10 working days, which is in effect 2 weeks. And you can see the list of mods we have here. We've got the Green Mountain Forest, Growers Farm. Those are at least 2 maps that are pending testing, or that are in testing. We have a placeable way station. That looks exciting. It's like we're going to continue our Geo trend. And then we've got several packs here for the consoles, still including the Hauer Snowpack, which is a part of Seasons itself, and the Seasons Geo Snowy Lands. So guys, with that, let's go ahead and jump back into game, and we'll start taking a deeper dive into all of these mods that once again were newly released this week, which is the week of October 28th through November 1st, 2019. All right, first up, we're going to take a look at the IES Drivelaner. Now, this is an interesting mod. This mod is available for all platforms, and it's a mod that comes in a couple different parts. First off, we're going to need a compatible seeder. Okay, so we need to scroll over here until we get to the modded areas. And this mod is going to work with the Salvis 3800, the Rapid A 600S, the Solitar 12, as far as seeders go. And then we have it working with the Optima 5 planter, Azuret 9 planter, the Tempo V8 planter, the Mysterio 12 SW planter, and that is it. So basically we need to pick one of these seeders or planters. I'm going to go with this one here, kind of like the Rapid A 600S. And once we have that, go over here to Miscellaneous, and we're going to pick up the Drivelaner Pro or the Drivelaner Arcade. So there's 2 different options here. So the Drivelaner Arcade is a simple attachment that attaches directly, or is directly controlled over the selected seeder. Drivelaner Pro adds additional adjustments for tracks and offsets 0 to 12 meters. So the arcade seems pretty straightforward. It just does what it does. Okay, so this little box here is denoting where it would attach to the seeder that we just bought. Then we have 2 little discs here that are basically going to carve up the ground and basically form tram lines. And we have the Drivelaner Pro, which is pretty much the same thing, but allows us to do some offsets. So we're just going to demonstrate this with the arcade. Okay, so let's go ahead and lease this up. Okay, so here we go. This is what we've got here. We've got the modded version of the Vanderstand Rapid 600S. And then we have the Drivelaner Arcade option here. Let's go ahead and pick up a tractor. Spin the Wheel of Fortune. Land on a JCB. Let's get a little bit of, well, let's that. Well, let's go see how this particular thing works. This mod is by IES, and I think I already said it, but this mod is for all platforms. If you want to use this on any other seeder, you're basically going to need to take a look at the mod and basically see how it is incorporated with these modded seeders, and then replicate that on your own seeder that you wish for it to use. So let's fill that up with seed. just so we can go ahead and get this down here to our test field. Let's go ahead and fix this from last week. Fold it. Drop it down. Turn it on. And what you're going to see is basically the Drivelaner is putting in tram lines. Okay? So it's basically carving up part of the field that we are seeding and basically removing the seed where basically the tires would drive. The arcade version or the pro version would allow us to also then set some offsets up. So let's say that we were using a fertilized sprayer or seeder, and that's pretty much why you would do this, is so that you would basically have that ability to come here after the crop has come up and spray or fertilize, spray or spread, I should say. So you could put tram lines in maybe every other pass, because the particular maybe seeder you're using is 6 meters in working width, or maybe 12 meters in working width, but the particular spreader you're using has a 24 meter working width. So basically every other pass would basically not put tram lines down. But since we picked the arcade version, there are no controls on that. It basically is going to be tram lining all the time without any other options. So guys, that is basically Drivelaner in a nutshell. And we kind of dumbed it down a little bit because we didn't look at the pro version. I really think this mod is for a this mod is for a select group of players, and the players that would use this type of mod, they're going to be taking the extra time probably to figure out how to use the pro version. So guys, once again, this is the IES Drivelaner by IES, and this mod is available for all platforms. Next up, we have the Unez trailer pack by Hunter4987, and this particular mod is available for PC only. We're going to find this here under trailers. Scrolling over here, we have the Unez TDK 1600 and TDK 2400. So the 1600 is $19,000. Starts out with a capacity of 14,000 liters. We have the choice of wheel brand, Blizzard, Trelleborg, Michelin, and then we have the design as standard. Standard or no. So let's take a look and see what that might do. We have no, standard. Really not seeing what that's doing. So let's go ahead and change the cover, yes or no. Change the rim color. Dark gray. Let's see, standard. Oh, there we go. So no means we don't have the triangle portion. The reason that I didn't see what was going on is because we had the cover on. Cover always acts as if that triangle portion is there apparently. So there it is, standard or no. That does not seem to affect the capacity. So let's go ahead and get one of those. And then let's go ahead and get the TDK 2400. And we have the choice of Lizard, Trelleborg, or Michelin tires. So that is $24,000. Oops, I don't think I got one of those. Let's get one of those. And let's go over here and just check under baling technologies. And we have the Unez TDK water balin and the TDK round balin, basically I guess square bales and round bales. This will hold 12 bales. The choice of Lizard, Trelleborg, or Michelin tires once again. $14,200. And then we have the round bale version, 14 bales. Sounds a little bit optimistic there, 14 bales, but okay. We have Lizard, Trelleborg, and Michelin once again. So as configured, we're at $13,300. There you go. We have the two different size tipper trailers. Really nice graphics, nice and clear. Do have rear hitch connections. Should be able to road train these up together. There we have all trailers. Not seeing a. Assume that we have the ability to do straps, but I'm not seeing that come up. There we go. Fasten tension belts. Right. Let's go ahead and hook up to a couple of these. See how they work. See if we can train these together. Let's go over here and see how they tip. So we have tip side back, tip side green door, and tip side left. Let's go ahead and tip side right. Go ahead and force unload. The right. Pretty much works like we would expect the in-game TDK trailer to work. Side. Back. Go. Hose hookups. Rain door. Then, of course, tip side left. And the other trailer behind us, it is pretty much going to work the same way. Let's go over here and check out these trailers, because the description is saying that these trailers are auto-load. Hop on in here. Looks like it is indeed operating position. Let's see if we can't get some square bales here. We have our auto load, our square bales. Transport position. Unload bales. There we go. You can see, strap them down. Let's go back into transport operating position, and left click and left or right mouse button. We'll move them left or right. Right click. Right click. Click up or down, kind of moves them back to the trailer. It looks like. Yeah. Okay. Left click, left and right, and then up and down. So probably don't want to do that. And then once we're ready, basically say unload bales. Y. And just drop them down. Do that again. Clean these bales up a little bit. Y, B. Does not like bales that are way low to the ground. Interesting enough. So then we are going to transport position, unload, and Y, drops bales, and there you go, guys. That is the Unez trailer pack. I cannot say that. Unez trailer pack by Hunter 4987, and this mod is available for PC only. That's why this was the round bale trailer, because the particular auto load functions that this trailer was using needs to have a separate trailer, one for round and one for square bales. Alright, next up we have the Bossini B280. This is a slurry tanker, and it is by S. Baffo Farming and Mateo 7810. This mod is also available for PC only. You're going to find this here under slurry tanks. Scrolling over here. So here we have the B280. And as I said in the intro of this video, the B280 lists the B350 as a mod requirement. Now I'm thinking maybe it possibly includes the 350 as a mod requirement because the 350 includes the injector. Not sure if that is indeed the case or not. It seems a little underhanded, in my opinion, that the B280 requires the B350. Simply because if you want a smaller one, 230 horsepower versus the larger one, 250, okay, and you just want the 3-axle version versus the 4-axle version, you still have to get this mod, which basically means any person that downloads the 280 has to download the 350, and it feels a little bit like they're trying to maybe pad their downloads, especially if the only way to get the injector is to get the 280, or the 350 itself. Let's take a look at the 280. So it comes with an injector, which is good to see. So we have the main color, default or black. Changes the frame there. We have the rim color. Then we have the design color, default or black. We get Trelleborg tires, Michelin tires, Nokian tires. We have design of default or black. We have the injector, no animations. Support for tool injector. Then we have spreader system pump plate or side to the right. You can see what it does. The pump plate basically puts this plate on it so it sprays it evenly all around. And then you can see this version is up here. If we go to side spreader right, now we got this nozzle has come down and the pump plate is up there on the kind of the mounting rack. Switch it to the left. So basically this is going to shoot slurry to the left all the time. The other one's going to squirt it to the right all the time, or we can go back to the pump plate. Let's go ahead and lease one of these. Let's get one for the injector tool, and then let's go ahead and get the injector itself. The choice of default or black color. 9,800s for that. 2.9 meter working width. So here we have the first slurry injector with the injector that doesn't, or the first slurry tank, with an injector that's not animated, it's just there. This is basically intended just to apply slurry to the field via the spreader, the spray bar, if you will, the pump. I think it's really cool. I really like the other version of this mod, the bigger one, when it came out, because it had these changeable nozzles. Now you have to go to the shop to change the nozzles, but I did like that you kind of could see both options. Farmer, in theory, had both options available to him, and it was just whichever one he would decide to hook up that particular day. Now we've got the pump plate, so we're going to get a nice even spread. Go and turn it on. See the animations there on that. Let's turn that off. Now this also has some mouse controls, so let's take a look at this. Left mouse button up and down, and then left mouse button left and right. The left and right rotates the end of the nozzle. Up and down rotates the second part of the nozzle. And then right mouse button left and right basically changes the length of the nozzle. But that's what this one does. This one doesn't do anything other than just spread slurry. Of course, you could go to the shop and configure it to spray both sides, like we did here. You have it spray out the left or spray out the right. Let's go up here and get the one that has provisions to have the injector added to it. Real quick. Does not have the injector on it. You could use this without the injector. You don't have to use it with the injector. Attach the injector. Head on. Let's get the right thing attached here. Let's head on back down to the testing field, and we'll take a look at how this one works. This one, of course, has all the same controls, left mouse button and right mouse button. You kind of get a little bit of a hint of how this one is different. If you look at the F1 menu, you can see that this one has an option that says allow create fields. Okay, so just like that one, we can turn this one on. It will thought this one would spew slurry out the rear also, but no. Let's go ahead and just toggle to the back. Let's lower it down. Let's turn it on. And now with both of them turned on, see, we are basically putting slurry in the ground. Turn it off. You can see there's where we applied slurry this time. Here's where we're applying slurry the second time. And you'll see that we are getting a plow state on there. We're showing a plowed texture. And since this is technically acting like a plow, we could create fields with this at the same time. We're technically getting double fertilization points for this. You'll see we are getting 2 stages of fertilization in one pass with this particular option. Okay, so that is the Bossini B280 slurry tanker, and again, it requires the Bossini B350 mod also. You guys, believe it or not, that concludes our tools and implements portion of this week's Weekend Roundup. I'm going to head now on up to our placeable section, where we will take a look at the 4 placeable mods that we have this week. And then we're going to jump over to our script mods. We have 1 script mod that we will use in-game, and then we will have to take a look at the 2 Seasons Geos. So I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, so our first placeable mod we're going to take a look at today is the Wooden Shelter by Plugs. This mod is available for all platforms. If we go down here to Sheds, we have the Wooden Shelter for $9,000 and $10 a day. Let's go ahead and spin that around. See, it actually rotates on that center front post. Interesting enough. Let's put it down. And you'll see it does actually change a bit of the ground texture to be this concrete texture, because we had this other concrete texture kind of here in front of it. And then we've got this concrete pad. We've got some nice treated, painted timbers here. A little bit of a ladder there on the side. No lights on this building. Overall, just a simple, nice wooden shelter. Easily add it to your farm. Stick it alongside a field somewhere where you want to store some bales. Maybe in an animal area where you just don't have enough bale storage. Definitely put this down, and I suspect you would have yourself a good shed to stack some bales in. Again, this mod is by Plugs and is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Beehive by AAA Modding, AAA Modding. This mod is available for all platforms. We're going to find this mod here under Miscellaneous. We have the Bee House, $500. Buy. Costs us $8 a day in maintenance and will pay us out a particular amount of income per hour depending on difficulty level. So on the easy difficulty level, we will get $10 per hour. On the normal difficulty level, we will get ourselves $8 an hour. And on hard difficulty level, we will get $4 an hour. Go ahead and rotate this around. We can see how it rotates. We've already got bees flying around. So the front, we've got those 2 little trays sitting there in the front. Let's put this down. A closer look at it. There you go. That denotes the front, those 2 little doors and those 2 little trays. There you go, guys. That is the Beehive by AAA Modding. And, wow, I don't know if you guys can see bees just swarming out of that thing. If you all can see that or not. There they go. All right, next up we have the Little Shelter. This mod is by the IES Friends. And this mod is available for all platforms. Let's go back to Sheds. Here we have the Little Shelter, $5,000. Rotates on the left front post. Interesting. Let's go ahead and just put this down here beside this other shelter so we can get a little bit of a size frame reference. There you go, guys. Just a simple 6-post, 4 beams, and then a little bit of a roof. If you're looking for some place to park your truck, a small tractor, a small implement, then this might fit your bill quite nice. That again is by the IES friends and is available for all platforms. Now, finally, we have the last placeable for the day. We have the Machinery Shed by DMI 20mm Normandy. Go to Sheds. Here we have the Hall for Crops and Machinery. $45,000. It rotates on its center. Wonder what that is. We've got a little bit of a, I don't know if you guys see that green square that's sticking out there from the end. Let's put this thing down and go over here and see if we can't try to figure out what on earth that thing was. The shed looks real nice. I like the interior of it. I like the fact that we can see the door fold up. Oftentimes on these fold-up doors, the door folds up, it just kind of vanishes. I like the fact that it you can literally just see it fold up. Follows its rails. Really nice on that. And oh, that's disappointing. I think that is supposed to maybe be on the ground in here. It's kind of an oil stain, like that. But instead, it's out here. Let's see what else we got going on. No, that's it. That must have been that little bit of square that we saw. You can see it. See it right there. If you get the wrong way, you don't see it because it's flat. Here you can definitely see it. That came with this particular building. There you go, guys. That is the Machinery Shed by DMI 20mm Normandy. Other than that, kind of, stain there, kind of off to the side, outside the building. This is a really nice looking building. Get the weathered red tin roof, siding here. That we've got, decorations, some dirt, stains alongside, outside, and inside the building. Got some racks in here. Really nicely done. Just that one little thing that I see is a problem with this building. So guys, the next mod is a script mod called CFails. This is by MMTRX. This mod is PC only, and basically it allows you to see on the PDA little icons showing you where your bales are. You may notice that we don't have any bales. We know we have bales down here. We don't see any. So the way this works is, let's pull up. Let's get back over here. There we go. So in our F1 menu, we can see left shift B, show bales, none. Okay. We can go left shift C to show bales, to show icons, color markers, and left shift H to turn the F1 menu information on and off. So let's hit at left shift H. See, we're turning that information on and off. Left shift C. Okay. Now, let's take a look here at the PDA. Shift B. There we go. Knew we had lots of bales up here. And let's turn these icons off. Okay, so now we've turned all the icons off. You can see we've got a stack of bales there, got one there, got a couple round bales there. We've got some square silage bales down there. At one point we had some round bales over here. We still have those. some test animals over here at one point. So we've got a couple bales still over there on field 9. Yep, here we've got some random bales in here. Believe it or not, we've got a ton of bales over here. This was back when we were doing the, believe it or not, this is back when we were doing the testing for the Anderson DLC. Those bales are still here on my test map. Go check them out. Validate that those bales actually exist. There we have some pallets. We have some bales. And there we have all those other bales that we were seeing. We can see it down there on the mini-map also. If you can see that. See it on the in-game mini-map also. And then we can see them here. So that is show bales. And the way that works is we go left shift B. Basically toggle them on and off. You can see on the in-game menu here, you can see them toggling on and off. Trying to find something with some decent contrast. Toggling on and off. Left shift C. Now they are dots as opposed to icons. Okay. If you're having a hard time seeing them as icons, you can see them as dots. And then left shift H will turn all that information off of the F1 menu itself. So guys, that is CFails, again, by MMTRX. Now this mod is available for PC only. And there is a specific note that says that this mod is for single player only. Guys, we are going to break out of the game. I'm going to jump into my video editor, where we're going to take a look at the last 2 mods this week. Take a look at the 2 Seasons Geos. Northern Sweden Geo. And when we do these Geo comparisons, we have the base Seasons Geo in the upper left, and then the modded Geo in the bottom right. So we can kind of compare the growth and harvest schedules. You can take a look at the base Geo up there and then compare it to the bottom Geo here. Man, this is going to be a difficult one. First off, you can kind of see in the background, when I loaded this Geo up for the first time, I basically got snow on the ground right away. I've got cold ground temps, and look at that. I can't plant a darn thing until late spring, and I have just one transition to do my planting for the most part. The only thing that gives me any sort of window to plant is oilseed radish, poplar, and grass. This Geo clearly does not support cotton or sugarcane, and it also does not support sunflowers. So we have to wait till late spring to plant our wheat, barley, oats, canola, potatoes, and sugar beets. We've got to wait till early summer to plant our corn and soybeans, and then take a look at that harvest schedule for corn, soybeans, potatoes, and sugar beets. We have the end of autumn and the early part of winter to get those particular crops in. We've got a fairly decent harvest schedule for wheat, barley, oats, and canola, given that late planting season. But still, this is going to be a tough one. We also have some late summer, early autumn planting for wheat, barley, oats, and canola. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty tough one if you're going to play a map with this particular Geo. So the last mod we're going to take a look at here tonight is the Bavarian Forest Seasons Geo. Again, we have the standard Geo in the upper left and the Bavarian Forest Geo in the lower right, so we can compare the base growth and harvest schedules and take a look at that. We've got another kind of cold climate here compared to the base Geo, which itself is pretty cool. We can only plant in mid-spring and late spring with respect to our cereal crops, wheat, barley, oats, and then also canola. Sunflowers, we've got a very, very narrow window of time of late spring only. Soybeans and corn we can only plant in early summer. Then potatoes and sugar beets, we are good to go mid-spring and late spring. Once again, this is not a geo that supports cotton or sugarcane. There just aren't too many of those geos out there, I have to say. Now let's take a look here at our planting and harvest in the fall and winter. We've got pretty standard planting and harvesting schedules for wheat, barley, oats, and canola. It looks like we can plant all the way into the end of early winter, which is a little bit different than the base geo. The harvest schedule looks to be about the same. And then we have a little narrower window to harvest our sunflowers from mid-autumn to the end of early winter. And then soybeans and corn we have from the end of autumn to the end of early winter to get those out of the ground. So guys, that is going to conclude this week's weekend roundup. It's a short one for sure. We've had a couple longer weekend roundups in the last few weeks, but this one is nice and sweet and short. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please go ahead and click that like button. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite mod released or updated this week. And until next time, happy farming.